Okay, it's Monday, January 31st. It's about 2 hours before the open. I'm making a pre-open video here. I just wanted to go over, again, to reemphasize I'm coming into the day bullish based on the end of the week video I made last week, which you could look at as a reference point. Then I'll show you some of the stocks I'm focusing on and generally how I'm kind of setting up the charts for this morning. So what I have here, this is the SPY index again, and again, I did discuss last week. If you look at the weekly chart here, we had the reversal type week, so I think there's an opportunity for it to follow through higher, and that's going to be the key to this whole week, how we follow through. Do we have a nice big green week again, targeting up here eventually, or even this week? Or is it going to be the type of thing where we test a little higher here early in the week, but then we can't really get anywhere, maybe roll over, it becomes a very negative looking week, and then we might be testing these lows again. So this is a reversal type bar, but that's the key, is how you follow through. So it's going to take 5 days to figure that out. On the daily chart, we close nice and green, so I'm definitely looking for at least a test of this area. You can see it's almost a 4-day trading range. So what you don't want to see is it coming right up here, taking out these stops that people think it's a new breakout, and then it fails and it heads lower in the days ahead. So this is Monday. It's an important day. Also, tomorrow starts the new day of the month, February 1st. So if we're going to have an up month in February, which I guess everyone's hoping for after all this damage in the stock market. Well, if you have a nice day today, we don't know for sure, but let's say you have a nice green day today, then the February 1st day is going to be another 2-up day. So you're going to kind of be dealing with continuation, and because you want that open of the month to be holding green, and that's going to be tomorrow. So if today is good and then tomorrow is also good, you're going to have a continuation type of thing to start the month. But I'll get into that tomorrow. So anyway, what I did here, this is the overnight action so far coming in to the morning. You can see I marked the highs and lows, and I'll show you on the individual stocks. I've done that with each stock so far, and that's kind of a reference point. So to me, if we open up down here, let's just say this was a stock and I was looking to buy on a signal, I would be targeting that high, since it's kind of a wide range, and then seeing if we break through or not. But an initial trade down here would probably just target that area if we have a long way to go. If we open up kind of close to the top, then I'm going to want to see my early price action breaking through. So that's kind of why I marked the ranges. So anyway, what I did here, now that I kind of know the daily chart, and I also kind of keep an eye on what you'll see with each stock, what's really developing on the daily chart for today. This would be if this SPY was if I was looking at this, it's like a 3-day yesterday. So to get a good day, you'd have to have a 3-2 continuation, and you'd be targeting, if you have that break of the highs, then you're targeting this prior high on the daily chart. And then I did mark, I don't know if I mentioned this, the weekly highs in pink. Well, I didn't do it on this chart, so let me go, but I did mark the weekly. So if you get a daily breakout and target here, I also have these weekly areas marked. So if the weekly high breaks, then I'm expecting us to go to the high, high of the previous week, and along the way there might be some targets along the way. So anyway, I'll get to the end of it. So what I did was then I went and kind of did my homework, so to speak. I listed 12 stocks that I'm really focused on this morning. I don't know which one I'm going to trade yet, but it's going to be one of these 12. That's a good starting point. And you can see here, it's I'll just go through it: Facebook, Target, Nvidia, Penn, Home Depot, Affirm, Bank of America, Oxy, Goldman Sachs, Coke, Microsoft, and Apple. So those are the ones I'm really going to look for. And what I did was, if you go to like the daily chart of Goldman Sachs, just as an example, I again have the daily chart here. So I know if we get a nice day today, it's going to be a 2 down, 2 up day. It's going to target these previous 2 days of last week. And then I have the weekly high here in pink. And if we can get through there, then all of a sudden I know, that we're targeting the high of last week, which is kind of up here. So, that's kind of reference point. Again, I have the overnight highs and lows right now. They might change between now and 8:30 in the morning, but generally, as long as it's above the midway point of the prior daily bar, I'm comfortable. So I'll be looking for various signals that form early in the session, because that's what I look for on the 15-minute chart. So now the way I do it is I look at the hourly chart, coming at the way that yesterday, Friday, ended, and it's a big green bar. So you can see here that if we just continue, right now it's a green bar here. So in order to get if we get a 2 down bar on the hourly, let's say the market gaps down a little bit, then I know I'm going to wait for and as long as we hold the midpoint of the prior day, and I want to see it, kind of holding whatever this overnight low is going to be. But if we get a 2 down to start on the hourly, then I'm going to look for like a 15-minute kind of a 2 down, 2 up type of trade early that will then lead to an eventual 2 up trade on the hourly chart. So that's kind of the way I look at it. If you start up higher, if we continue with, if we just have an hourly chart that has 2 up here and then wants to do continuation all the way past the overnight highs, then immediately I'm going to look for like a 5-minute 2 down, 2 up, a very aggressive trade that holds within this hourly uptrend and get in that way. Or I can buy a strong 15-minute bar and a continuation. So I'll just have to watch the 15-minute and the 5-minute chart, but I'll be kind of aggressive trying to stay within, the hourly 2 up that I anticipate breaking this overnight high, and which could target the daily highs and the weekly highs and everything else. So a lot's going to depend how we open here on the 15-minute chart, relative to this hourly chart, relative to the overnight action. I mean, I'm just kind of showing you how it all comes together. But once you get comfortable with it, you know exactly what you're looking for. So bottom line is a lot of these stocks did close with strong hourly bars. So I'm going to be pretty aggressive on the 5 and 15-minute chart, and then seeing if we break above these overnight highs. And then, when you go to the daily chart, you see if we then are triggering a 2 up, which that should happen early if you have a nice strong open, and then the 2 up should be taking out, it should target yesterday's high and then that high. And then if all that's hit early in the session, you got a weekly, 2 up type. If I go to the weekly chart, that becomes a weekly 2 up, and therefore you're targeting there. So that's why all this stuff, you'll see how it comes together in the morning, and I'll kind of be watching all these stocks. Let me go back to the hourly chart here as a starting point. I'll be watching all these stocks at the same time and kind of picking the ones that have, good openings. I have a few I'm really interested, like Microsoft, I'd say is the stock I'm really focused on. So I want to see, I'm going to be pretty aggressive on the 5 and 15-minute chart here, and you can see if we all that, well, it's harder to see. It's not zoomed out enough. But, the range already broke through the weekly high. So what's interesting here is the overnight action already has a 2 up on the weekly, which targets this prior weekly high of 313.91, and prices at 308 right now. So it's almost as if it's foreshadowing that we're going to be, trying to take out that high on a good week, if this is a good week for Microsoft, which is like 7 points away. So, I just like that. But I'm still going to allow things to open and look at the 15-minute chart and the overnight action. And, you want to break through those levels and everything else. So anyway, that's kind of the opening. Let me go back to the SPY here, and then I'll, maybe check back right before the open. Yeah, we've come down a little bit. We're bouncing off this level. So we'll see if this changes, within the next, it's now an, hour and a half to go, whether we're starting out more near the highs of the overnight action or down near the lows. We'll just have to see what the market wants to do. But that's kind of a pre-opening, very bullish, overall. I'm going to look for the long side. Maybe I'll make an end of the day video showing with each of these stocks how they developed. But the key again is on this weekly chart. Are we going to get follow through this week, which could then lead to, if you look at the monthly, well, I don't want to get to the monthly until maybe tomorrow, but the monthly chart still is going to end somewhere today, and then you're going to have to see if you can get a nice green bar on the monthly. I actually looked at some way back, a few years ago when you had these drops on the monthly chart, how the next month you do want to see, it takes a whole month of February, in this case February, to see if we can get a nice green month. But that kind of set the stage for a rally again every time, so if we just have a weak little month in February, then that might mean we're not really ready to start a new up leg, and we might be testing these lows again. But that's, that's at the end of February, at least for now. You want to see if this weekly chart can have nice follow through. That'll be the first start. And to me, if we do, that's great. I'll anticipate February being a nice month. But if we can't, then we might be testing these lows again. So anyway, pre-opening comment, January 31st, and market has about an hour and a half before the open.